Welcome to Mommy Issues, a podcast where an ex-reality TV star mom
and her reality TV loving daughter
bridge the gap between their generations through celeb news, all things Bravo,
and their own personal mommy issues. Hello.
Hello. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. You're wearing green and it's
you didn't even see the whole thing. Wait, I'm gonna do it again. Ready?
Okay, yeah. Wow.
You're glowing, girl.
You're glowing, girl.
By the way, I like, you have to like plug it into your computer and stuff. And I was like, what's going on? So I had the whole Zoom thing open, and then I was like, oh, I have to press on, and I put it on, and I audibly was like, oh,
how beautiful.
I was like, who is that? Is that me? She's cute. I was
cute.
Very impressed with myself.
Listen, I wouldn't do anything without a light.
I like cannot believe I've gone this long without a ring light just in my life, not even for the context of this podcast. I'm like,
you also need to like decorate the back of your, like find an area that looks better.
What do you want me to do? Like, I there's not much I can do here. This is where I record.
No, I know, but you can get I don't know, something
like a backdrop. No, people love the Lola sign.
People love sign with tape,
which is cute. Don't lie. The little standing thing for Lola, her little toy that she actually doesn't like anymore, which I think I have to break that down because we don't have a lot of room in here. So if you're not using it, it's out. Hi everybody, welcome to the podcast. I have a ring light and I'm very excited about it.
Oh my God. Well, yes, welcome everybody. Let me give you all my highlights and lowlights.
Oh, we're just jumping in. Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm just gonna jump in. My lowlight is I almost died.
No, but real,
literally, because I know when I texted you when I said I almost died, you're like, "Ay, esta mujer que exagerada," whatever. No, I
know you almost died after hearing the whole story. Tell us the story.
I don't want to really tell the whole story because it makes me look so bad.
But it doesn't matter. Remember when I told you I got crossfaded and I had like 30
I know, but I'm almost 40.
Oh my God. Okay. If we're lying on the podcast, let me know because I'll lie all day.
All right, fine. I'm almost 50.
And I just got selected to be Sports Illustrated Rookie of the Year.
Hello, have you seen Sports Illustrated? I'm not even going to talk about it.
Oh I don't even want to hear you.
I don't even want to hear it either. Okay, so Ken, my boyfriend, and I, we do something on Friday nights that we call Debauchery Friday. Debauchery Friday started as a joke, but it's become like a thing. So during the week, we both work really hard. We both work, he works later than me, but he works far from home. And then he goes to the gym at the Biltmore, and that's just part of his life. He goes and stops, he does like 2 hours. So he gets home late, So Fridays is the day that we, and then we're pretty good about nutrition and stuff during the week. Friday night. No, but why is it debauchery? Because people are going like, what's debauchery?
Okay.
Debauchery
fine.
For us,
it's just so opposite from what your day-to-day normal life is.
Just fucking eat everything and anything. Sometimes it involves me cooking, but most of the time it's like ordering. Uber Eats. But in one night we will Uber Eats from like 3 different places.
Yeah.
Minimum.
God, fun.
Right. So we'll order our food, and then of course we need to order dessert. And then we're like, wait, but now we need something salty again. So we'll make popcorn, and then, popcorn like with a lot of butter on it, like even though it already has butter. And then of course we need candy. So then we usually have candy for this, whatever, but then we eat candy and then whatever. And then when you wake up in the morning and you see we clean up like, the kitchen, because me and I'm afraid of bugs, but it's a mess. The remnants of it is like, I should post a picture every week of Debauchery Friday. So this often involves having a gummy, like a pot gummy.
A pot gummy.
Because I'm not a big drinker, right? So
for the record, guys, my mom will have a sip of alcohol and be on the floor. She's like, I'm so drunk.
Right. So the first time I had a gummy, when I went to Aspen with a friend of mine, it was just so fun. It turned off my brain. It made me feel good. And I'm like, I think this is better than alcohol.
Yeah.
So I had a gummy. And so I had a gummy, and then, people send me stuff, and they had sent me these sangria in a can that was like fizzy and sweet.
Sugar, alcohol, gummy.
And fuzzy. But me, fizzy and sweet is like, come on.
Yeah, that's your MO.
So I drink that. Not the whole thing, but I drank some of that. I had the gummy. I was alone. I never have a gummy by myself.
Let me guess, you didn't drink enough water that day?
No, I drank a lot of water. The problem is that I am pre-diabetic, but I have hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia, which is a rare combination, means low blood sugar and high blood sugar. So it has to be moderated with a medication that I take.
Is that a real thing?
This is why I can't get on Ozempic, because if not, very well, I'd be on that shit. I take something called metformin. I've taken it for over 10 years, and it keeps right. So it keeps me level. So
keeps me humble.
I always forget whether I took it or not. Right. God. Because I forget everything.
We're off to about
and so I had taken it and I took it again. This is what actually caused the whole problem. I had also taken that day. I took it twice. I had also taken half an Adderall that day because I'd have to take Adderall. I'm supposed to take it every day to work. Right. But I hate the feeling sometimes, so I don't take it every day. But that day, because I'm on the deadline with the book, I took half an Adderall. So now it is a perfect storm. Right? I had ordered that day. I was going to cook. We had decided the debauchery Friday included hot dogs and milkshakes, our hot dog milkshake and all this stuff. And then I ordered some beer for Ken because I never have beer here, and I thought he'd like beer with his hot dog.
Right.
So Instacart, they require you to knock on the door. You have to have an ID. So I am laying on my couch watching something. I don't remember what it was. Something like on the Discovery Channel about birds and shit. And I'm looking, I'm like, I feel so good. I have never felt this good in my life. I hope I didn't throw away the little thing where I bought these gummies in LA when I was there so that I can tell Beba to send me some more, because I need to buy this by the bushel if it exists. I have never felt this good in my life. And I'm sitting there, I'm feeling so groovy and wonderful. And all of a sudden they knock on the door and I'm like, that's the guy. I'm not going to answer. Then I'm not going to answer. And then finally in my stupor, I thought,
need your ID.
Oh, they need the ID. So I still don't answer because physically I didn't think I could get up. He calls my phone and I said, you need the ID, right? And he goes, yeah. So somehow I managed to get from the couch to my office, got my ID, opened the door, handed the ID to him. And he, as I'm holding it in my hand, is trying to scan it. But now my hand can't hold it anymore.
Oh, no.
So I drop it and I fall to the ground. And I fall to the ground in a fetal position and I'm shaking as if I'm having a seizure. Okay.
Thank God this man was here.
The guy saved my life. He came inside and then he goes in Spanish, señora, which bothered me because he should have said señorita. I mean, come on, I'm so young. Are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm whatever. I couldn't.
You probably couldn't even talk.
No, I could not talk. Beba, I felt the life leaving my body. And I'm not lying about that. I have never, in my, 40 years, I have never gotten drunk where I pass out. You know that. I have never thrown up. Nothing. I'm just, my whole life I've been a goody two shoes. Right. I'm like a debaucherous monster now. But back then I wasn't. And so and I'm there and I'm going, oh my God, I'm going to die. And the only thing I thought of was
Lola.
Kathy can't handle if I die.
Oh.
Lola needs me because obviously, like, you got a passport thing for, where do you think you're taking her? She's not going anywhere.
I know, everybody was like,
she's not going
trip. I was like, we just got to be ready to go.
She's not going anywhere because they will steal her. Like somebody will
continue
rob her.
Your story.
Okay. And then I thought of my mother. My mother can't outlive me. No. I really didn't think that much about you because I don't think you love me that much, but I didn't. I thought about Kathy. I'm being honest. And I know that you do, but you have your own way of showing it. And that own way isn't very convincing. So, so I'm there on the floor and the guy's going, can I, she goes, okay, I have to call an ambulance. I'm like, no, don't call an ambulance. And it's not like I'm that well known or whatever, but there are people. It's not the press. It's just that, they look anything that's public. If a name pops up, if I happen to be on somebody's old Google alert, it's going to be like, I didn't, and I know that like the guy probably took a video of me and stuff. It was bad.
You would literally rather die.
Yes, I would have rather died.
That's crazy.
No, that's not true. Fuck that. I would not have rather died. Are you nuts? Okay. So then I said, call my husband, to, whatever. And he goes, what's the number? Who knows anybody's number, especially when you're in that condition? And I kind of remembered where my phone was. I go, the phone is over there. His name is Ken. Ken is always home early. He calls Ken. Ken is not answering the phone. Ken never doesn't answer the phone, but he was on the phone. Yeah, he was on the phone with a farmer from Michigan. It was like
and he didn't know you were literally dying.
Of course not. So then I tell him it's an emergency. So the guy put it emergency because he doesn't really speak English. So Ken goes,
which is better, by the way. If he said it emergency, he's like, what's happening?
Right. So then he calls back and a guy answers the phone. And so because I didn't want him to be freaked out, I'm trying to talk, but I can't talk. And then I go very quiet and the guy goes, Senora, the ambulance 911. I'm like, please no, whatever. And then I said, I have to throw up. Right. So I'm on the floor and the floor felt good cold and he held my hand and he sat me up and I threw up, but like I threw up like, when you throw up that imagine, I think I got a hernia because from a lying down sitting position, the force of it. And it was just,
no.
I don't even know what it was. The guy basically he covered it all with whatever. And he was rubbing my back. I mean, he was an angel.
Man. Did you get his number, by the way?
I did, and I sent him $100 tip through Instacart.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
That's all I know. How can I get his name?
No.
So he waited and waited and waited, and then Ken was like, "I'm still in West Palm Beach," so he calls Glenda and Rob, and so Glenda and Rob get here, and by the time Glenda and Rob gets here, Glenda's like, "No, we're going to the ER." She told me, she goes, "You were a ghost." I'm like, I was pale. She goes, "You were transparent. I've never seen, we could not get you off the floor because you wouldn't. The floor felt good, whatever." It took until honestly, till yesterday, till I really back to normal. Everything I've eaten, last night I had to go to a cover party for a magazine thing. And I shouldn't have gone, but I went and I've been like,
felt bad.
Yeah. Whatever that's my low light.
Wow. Big low light. Listen, you haven't had a lot of low lights for a while. You need.
I know it's like this is a doozy. So and so now
scary.
The doctor knows that I'm really bad at taking my medication, so she's putting me on something that's like once weekly. I don't know what
you need. One of those pill boxes. Monday, Tuesday.
No, I have them. I still don't. Whatever. Every night
because it requires maintenance of putting them in.
Yes.
The whole thing.
Yeah, I was like, Ken, did I take my pill? And then it's like I'm so afraid of not taking it that I take double, and it's twice. Like no. Yeah.
Too many things. Like the movie Everything All at Once was based on your life.
Yeah.
At that moment. Oh God, that's.
But anyway,
scary.
And so my highlight is that I feel so lucky to be alive. My mother doesn't know about this. I don't know if my mother listens to this podcast, but I'm sure.
I don't know if she knows how to access it.
My ex-mother-in-law will tell her that I almost died and that I'm a pothead. I am none of those things. And yes, and I am very much aware. I mean, your sister was mad.
Well, Mommy, because let's be real.
But I'm not talking about mad about not telling her that she's mad about
that. You did it in general.
Mad that I don't understand how old I am, that I don't understand that I can't just put diesel in a regular, she's like, basically you're an old car. And the only way that old cars stay in good condition is if you add the oil and add the whatever, and you're fucking putting diesel in an old car when it's, something like that. And she was really angry, like, angry also that I try to protect her from these things when it doesn't even make sense because
it doesn't.
In everything that every time I sign any kind of waiver, she's my she's my emergency
contact. Yeah.
Because she's the one that's going to answer the phone and she's whatever. And maybe you will, maybe you won't. And so.
Okay. We don't have to bash Beva every week. It's bash Beva.
Anyway. So yeah. Highlight and low light.
Wow. Well,
I'm very grateful.
Yeah. It gives you perspective on on life and
And what's really important, I was putting an enormous amount of pressure on myself for this book that I'm late and whatever. And it's
sometimes you do have to go through it's like what happened to me the other weekend where I was like, oh, listen, I'm not as old as you are, but I did feel this sense of like, I'm a completely different person than I was even a year ago. And I can't do these things that I used to do anymore. And that's okay.
Right.
And that's
but
okay.
Imagine me, like, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
I always say, oh, I'm old. I always say it, but I guess I don't really feel it, like, to the extent of like, I don't feel like my mother, I think of my mother as the grandmother.
But you're also not that old. That's the thing. You shouldn't feel that old because you're not that old.
But I also,
you shouldn't be doing things that like 20-year-olds are doing. Like a 21-year-old in college would do all the things you did. Adderall to study. Right. Exactly.
So like, why do it now? Like your body is capable of withstanding that at that age, but not now. So
yeah, your body's a temple for real.
Yeah.
Well, happy your life. Okay, my highlights and lowlights. I have a highlight that is like kind of a low light, but it ended up being a highlight. So I like briefly mentioned this the other week, but I stopped breastfeeding and I did it not suddenly, but I think I had talked about how I had bought a new bottle of...
Get over here, Harry. Sorry, Harry, get here. Harry, if I call you, you come. Get over here. Get over here. You are my emotional support animal, and that's the way it works. Sorry.
Is he gonna come up?
Yeah.
Okay.
He has no choice.
Hi, Harry. Oh my God, he's so
I have no
cute.
strength. You don't like dogs.
Harry, I don't, but I like Harry. Hi, Harry. Oh my God. So cute. Okay, listen. I stopped breastfeeding. I said at like a couple weeks ago, like once this bottle of prenatals finishes, I'm gonna be done. Because for me mentally, it was like good to see it gradually get lower and be like, okay, I'm preparing myself, whatever. On February 27th, yes, I remember the day, John Liam took the morning shift of doing Lola stuff. And in the morning is really the only time that I was breastfeeding Lola at this point. And in the middle of the day, John Liam was like, have you breastfed her today? And I was like, no. And he's like, you're done. Like, don't try to like push it any longer. Like you're done. And I weirdly needed like permission, I think, in a way for someone to be like, it's okay to be done, because I felt guilty.
The man without boobs gave you permission to not breastfeed anymore.
You know what I mean? Funny. Like I think like a lot of women, a lot of moms like feel this pressure, like you should be breastfeeding for up to a year because that's what it's recommended. Whatever, it's a whole thing. And I think I just felt bad that I wasn't going to do that, even though she was getting probably an ounce from me every day. Okay.
Oh, really? It had gotten that.
But it was the bonding. It was
how she looks at you.
Totally.
With those eyes. Oh my God.
That's the thing. Like a lot of people talk about when you finish breastfeeding, the emotional, moments.
Oxytocin and shit. Like
I didn't know that. I thought it was like because of the bond that you've had for the last 7 months with her.
There's chemistry
it's
involved.
Now gone. It's emotional, which I did feel that, of course, but then whatever. Since I would say I started feeling normal again yesterday, like fully normal, back to myself. I did not know about the hormone changes. And my friend Kayla, who has a baby who's a month and a half older than Lola, I talked to her about everything. We send each other DMs on Instagram, memes, videos, whatever. And one of them was like 5 things I wish I knew about motherhood before I became a mom or whatever. And one of them was like the hormonal come down of breastfeeding is so intense. It's more intense than the first couple of weeks of postpartum. And I was like, what? And I Googled it and read like a million articles. And it was like, this is like for anybody who's a mom or who is breastfeeding and it's your first time, whatever. This is information that you need to know that people don't fucking tell you.
Yeah, nobody tells you.
When you are making milk for your baby, your prolactin, which is the relaxing hormone, and oxytocin, which is the happy hormone, are constantly like, you need those hormones active to be able to make milk. When you stop breastfeeding, you stop producing happy and relaxing hormones. Like it just drops dramatically. When I tell you, I have had, the crying fits every single day. I'm crying and crying and crying, and I don't feel like myself. And I have felt so crazy, getting mad at everybody, and like literally talking about like, I don't want to do this podcast anymore. I don't want to show my life. I don't want to show Lola anymore. This is my life. I want to be private. I was like which whatever, that not that that's like so crazy, but
no,
but it's
yeah, but
also
it's
not me. I like to share. I'm so open, and I like to share my whole life.
right.
And I was a wreck every single night. I was having a horrific migraine to the point that I was having Advil every night. And what
That's
happened
bad.
to Monty, like when he had Advil every night, he ended up in the hospital. So
I don't even ever drink it.
I stopped taking Advil, and I started looking up doctors because I was like, I have a brain tumor because the migraines that I was having every night, I was like, this is
You
weird.
suffered from migraines since you were a little girl, though.
But not, this was different. I'm telling you, it was such a different thing. Whatever. I was gaining weight. I was working out and eating the same, but I was like holding on to weight weird, which made me feel bad about
Maybe
myself.
retaining water.
It's the hormone. It's all this to say, I did not know any of this. I thought I was going crazy, and I just felt very alone and scared. And after reading this information, I still was going through all this stuff and feeling shitty, but I was like, this is normal. It's a phase. It's going to pass. And I'm just here to tell anybody who is going through this or is in the process of breastfeeding and will eventually stop, this is information you need to know because nobody tells you, and it's fucked. But
right. And nobody tells you, because I honestly think that hormones in general and women are something that
it's
people
under
don't tell you. There's the
researched.
other side of this is that when you get older and become either perimenopausal, premenopausal, or menopausal, everything changes. Some people start getting acne again. Some people you don't feel like yourself.
No,
It's
hormones
awful. You
are
gain weight in weird places. And I
crazy
really
town.
think that, doctors tell you, you're just crazy. Here's a Valium, which is what they did to me when I had my hysterectomy.
Yeah.
It's like, I wanted to kill people and I almost killed one. Remember? Who
Oh yeah. Who probably
deserved
deserved it. Yeah. Yes, you're right though. And like I was talking about this with Marie and Sophie, like the book, What to Expect When You're Expecting. There's a new book called Expecting Better. And it was basically about a huge part of it was like doctors have little to no research about what you can and can't do when you're pregnant, whether it's like eating deli meats, eating raw sushi, whatever, that they don't trust women enough to make educated decisions. So they just say, stay away from everything. Like
right.
that, but that's kind of like,
and they're so wrong
of hormonal like research, pregnancy, postpartum. Yeah. There's so little done because people don't care about women in that way. Right. People don't care about mothers.
And it is so stupid. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard because fathers are amazing. There is nothing like the bond between a mother and child. I understand that a father, it's a close second, but it's a second. I don't care what anybody says. If there's anybody that's going to research and care about what happens to the thing growing inside them, it's a woman.
It's gonna be the mom.
Give us a little fucking credit.
It's true. What I mean?
Give us a little fucking credit.
I don't know where I heard this or who said this, but it was like the reason why kids are so mean to their moms oftentimes, or like just harder on their moms and not their dads, is because you're hardest on the person that you feel safest with. You know that your mom is not going to leave. Whereas
no matter what you do to them,
even if your dad is a very present dad, if he's going in and out of the house, you're like, it's less time with him. It's whatever, that you're just more like, I love him more, or I'm more present with him and I'm nicer to him because mom is always going to be there. You can shit all over mom.
Do you remember the story my dad told me once? It's like a tale, a fable or whatever about a mother's love, because my mother and I didn't used to get along. And every time I talk about my dad, I want to cry. He told me that there was a story, it's like whatever, about a kid that was so evil that he cut out his mother's heart and he started running with the heart. And he fell. And the mother's heart said, honey, are you okay?
Oh my God.
I know.
What the hell?
I know. But it was just the epitome of what a mother's love is.
Yeah.
Don't matter what you do to me, I'm going to love you. I never forgotten that. I remember him telling me that because I used to like always have lots of issues with my mom. And that is 100% true.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Now.
Lola could stab me and I'd be
right.
Good.
Will we ever do a podcast without crying?
I don't know, man. It doesn't seem likely. Okay. Anyways, quickly, my low light. That was my highlight, weirdly. It was just like having the information. My low light
and
is
understanding. Yeah.
everyone thinks I'm a nanny. Like, I'm serious. It's really bad. And honestly, I didn't think it was
Does
like,
anybody say
I
it?
normally don't care. I was at the park the other day and I was like, there was a woman next to me where like there was 2 swings and I was pushing Lola. She put her kid in. She's like, oh, how old is she? I was like, she's 7.5 months, whatever. And she's like, is she yours? And I was like, that's such a fucking rude question. Like, people really think I'm the nanny. And then yesterday we were in the promenade and we went inside of a store and there was like a 60 something year old woman who was just like, could not get over Lola. Like, I would just walk by. I wasn't stopping, but she just would be like, whatever. So eventually when I was like leaving, I just like stopped because she couldn't handle like not seeing her. She's like, oh my God, you're so cute, blah, 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 blah. She goes, where's your mom? Where's your mom? I didn't think anything of it. And
Maybe they think you're too young, Beba.
I don't know, but mommy, she also looks nothing. She also looks nothing like me, but she kept going, where's your mom? Where's your mom?
When I'm with
and
her,
I wasn't
people think I'm her
answering.
mother.
Can I finish my story? I said, she goes, where's your mom? Where's your mom? And then I didn't say anything. I was just like waiting for her to just like smile or whatever. And she looks up at me and and I go, yeah, I'm your mom. She goes, oh, you're her mom. And I was like, goodbye. We're leaving.
But did she say you look so young?
No, she just says,
because nowadays people have their kids a lot older. I don't know. I don't think she doesn't look like you.
It doesn't even matter. Like, don't. It's like say, even if you see a woman 9 months pregnant, unless her water is breaking, you're not saying, are you pregnant? Oh, congrats, whatever. Just don't be like,
I don't know, because listen, you could not look more different than me. And when you were little and Kathy was little, you and Kathy are night and day.
Yeah.
Nobody ever asked me, are they both yours? Are they whatever? So I just think maybe
because one looked like you.
I know, whatever.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just, it's annoying. And honestly, I didn't care about it until recently where it's been happening a lot more. And I'm like, what? I think I'm
get some highlights.
It's also, I'm proud. I'm so proud to like be walking with Lola. I'm so proud that she's my daughter and she's like just the sweetest little angel of all time. She is
so sweet. Forget that she's cute.
She's just sweet.
She has such an amazing disposition.
She does.
Like, she's amazing. And
I just get annoyed because
I would tell you to dye your hair blonde, but no, Alexia won't have it.
Hair blonde.
Alexia will not have it. Remember, she doesn't want anybody to be blonde.
I know. Okay. Let's get into celeb news and then we spent a lot of time on this, by the way. It's like
what celeb news? I don't want to talk anymore about Hailey Bieber and stuff. No, Beba, no, nobody wants it.
Can no, it's
I've
not true.
Private DMs.
No, you haven't. You're making that. You're a notorious liar. Okay. I'm just going to tell you 2, 3 things. Okay. That's it. And you don't have to comment on it. But remember last time I told you stuff and you're like, oh, that's kind of interesting and weird.
Okay. Go.
The whole thing about like how Hailey copies Selena with everything that she posts. So Hailey had posted a photo of her as a kid with the, like on her story saying, hugging this girl extra tight. And I saw that and I was like, oh, I kind of feel bad. Like, you know, we've all done inner child work. You haven't, but most
why? Because they were friends as children?
No, it's just Hailey posting a photo of herself as a kid saying, hugging this girl extra tight. Like, you know, and I saw that and I was like, oh, I do feel bad for her. Like, that's kind of sad, like whatever. And then I saw TikTok and it basically, you know, highlighted that she did that. And then it said 3 days before Selena had posted a photo of herself as a kid saying like, I wish this girl knew how to ask for help. And I was like, girl, you're doing it again. Like, this is so crazy.
So stalkerish.
Also, she had posted, she had a mini stroke last year and like posted a whole video about it and like the whole thing that happened just to like bring awareness to strokes. I don't know. And she had posted a video.
Who had a stroke?
Hailey.
Wow, that's scary. Because
it is scary, especially because she's so young. But she reposted it saying like 1 year anniversary of her stroke. And I was like, oh God, we're really pulling out all the stops for sympathy vote here. Like 1 year anniversary of my stroke, guys. Peace and love. And then last
thoughts and prayers.
Justin Bieber finally has spoken. He didn't say anything about it, but he did post a photo of
him and Hailey
saying, love you, baby. But you know how he spelled love? L-U-V. You know how he spelled you? The letter U. I don't know.
That's so telling. No. That is so telling. Love ya.
When somebody says, I love you, and you say, love you, you're like, we need to check in. Okay. Other celeb news, Oscars. Did you watch?
Oscars. Yes, I watched.
What did you think? Well, I thought it was a great Oscars. Me and Jolene
I thought
really
it was a great
enjoyed it.
Oscar. I thought that girl, Carrot, whatever, was like the most
Cara Delevingne.
Oscar I've ever seen. She's amazing. I love her
gorgeous
attitude too. She's so confident. She's so
Well,
she's
recently
British.
she is, and she was having like in the news, she was on drugs and like was acting very crazy, and then she went into rehab and is sober now.
Maybe
But
she
this
just
happened
had a
like
debauchery Friday.
no, you should see the
drugs.
videos. It's actually really scary what she was doing. She was like manic, but she was the best dressed at the Oscars 100%.
Absolutely. Oh my God, amazing.
Gorgeous.
I saw that, and then, looking at older women, I thought Nicole Kidman looked great, and there's all this talk about her acting weird and looking strange and whatever. Have you heard about that?
Nicole Kidman?
Yeah.
I don't think I heard that.
Oh, well, maybe I was listening it on Bethany's podcast, and Bethany makes a lot of shit up, but who knows?
She's nuts.
She's kind of gotten
the
crazy.
Bethany train because
I know I still find her entertaining because I think she's so smart, but she's gone nuts, and she's not honest about she does like all her makeup thing. People have been asking me lately a lot. Like yesterday I went to that event and they're like, who did your makeup? I'm like, I always do my makeup. You know that I'm a very do-it-yourselfer. You know what I mean?
Your own highlights, you do your own nails.
I don't always do my own highlights, but because I like to do my highlights in Charlotte, I'm in between. Yes, I can do my own highlights. You do it yourself. And I like this weekend, I'm working on like the coffee area of my house. I want to make a change there, and I want to I like to do things myself.
Doing it for yourself.
Yeah. And so what was I saying?
Bethany makeup.
Bethany. And so people ask me all the time, can you teach me? Can you teach me? Well, the best way to teach somebody is just to do a few videos. You know what I mean? Right. I'm not an expert. I have mature skin.
Are you going to do videos?
I think every once in a while I'll do one.
Also, did you just call your skin mature skin?
Yeah, I'm older. I'm 40. No,
God.
I am. And I am also a person that hasn't done, Botox fillers, stuff like that. I've done Ulthera. I've done microneedling every once in a while, but I haven't done any of that stuff. I am going to have a facelift, people. I am, not right this second, but I am, and I will always share everything. So I think maybe every once in a while I'll do one. If you guys think you would like to see that, I'll do it. We can, I don't know, add it as an extra thing to our channel.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll do cooking stuff.
That'll be really, you're so funny when you cook.
I do.
And let me tell you, I do. I know you do. And you know what I like about it?
And I'm a better cook because I have less of the things that people have. Like most people have like a full rack of gorgeous knives. Like I have one dull knife. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I don't have all the pots and pans. I think
it's very relatable. I think it's very relatable. And I think you're so funny when you cook because you get nervous and you say funny things.
Seen me cook. Like
no, I've seen you. No, you get nervous in the things that you say. Like, I think it would be great because it is so relatable. So I think, we should do some little like shorts and things. And, we're Renaissance women. So we should show that we do a little bit of everything.
We love the Renaissance.
We love the Renaissance, and I'm
that's what that means.
And I'm Rubenesque. And it'll be fun for I keep thinking that for my grandchildren, it would be so fun to look back on all these videos. Like right now, you have some kid videos when you were little, which I promise I am gonna find them and put them together for you guys. I know I will, but for Lola to be able to sit and watch her mom and her grandmother argue about stupid things, and Lola goes like, wow, my mom didn't really love my grandmother that much, that's so terrible, and all those things, it would be great. Anyway, okay, what else?
Okay, the only two things I want to talk about with the Oscars is, did you see Hugh Grant on the red carpet being rude to Ashley Graham?
I didn't hear about that. I only saw Hugh Grant saying that whoever he was with looked so beautiful and he looked like a scrotum, which I thought was really funny.
It's not that funny. Listen,
he has dry,
I understand,
British humor. I didn't see it, so I can't comment.
Okay, but here's the thing. So it's actually pretty split because a lot of people are like Team Hugh and a lot of people are Team Ashley. I am Team Ashley.
I'm Team Ashley because I love her.
Ashley Graham was hired.
I also like him.
Ashley Graham was hired by ABC to do the red carpet. Okay. She's never done a red carpet before. She's never done interview based. I mean, she had a podcast, but that's very different. It's edited. It's not live. This is
the little bit I thought of her. I saw of her. She did okay, right?
She did great. Listen, for the first time, I think she did great. She was a little nervous. And I think in this particular instance, I don't think she knew what to do because Hugh was so rude. She was asking questions and he was like rolling his eyes and giving these answers. Like she said, what was it like working on the movie Glass Onion? He was like, I was in it for 3 seconds. And she's like, I know, but you were still there and you whatever. And he's like,
oh, la pobre.
Like that. Awful. And then she goes, who are you wearing? And he goes, I'm wearing a suit. And he goes, okay, but from where? And he's like, oh, I don't remember the name of my tailor. He's like, it's just a suit. He probably
didn't think that she was important enough to interview him. Maybe.
Regardless, you are at the Oscars. You do not have to do the red carpet. If you're presenting, you don't have to do any of that. Sneak in through the back, do your presenting and go home. You do not have to make somebody feel bad. A lot of people are saying,
I'm the queen of avoiding step and repeats.
Like a lot of people are saying like, well, Ashley Graham shouldn't have asked these dumb questions. Again, Ashley Graham was hired by ABC to do the red carpet. The red carpet consists of who are you wearing? What was your prep like to get ready for today? What did you eat? Who are you excited to see? What movies do you think are going to win?
If you're in a movie for 3 seconds, it's still not about your role in the movie. What did you think of the movie? Was, it's a kind of new genre of whatever. I think I haven't seen it, but that's
absolute not cool. Dick. And anybody who thinks that it was Ashley Graham, like, I think those people literally just don't understand production. And like, as if she was coming up with these questions herself. I was telling John Liam, like, if this were me and I asked 2 questions and he gave me that stuff, I'd be like, why are you here? Why are you standing here with me doing these questions if you don't want to do this? Like, just go.
I would have just said, what the fuck? Did you run out of Prozac? What's wrong? You know what I mean? Like something.
God, it made me so mad. And I hate guys who make women feel like that. Like he made her, I mean, she could stand on her own, but if it were me, he would have made me feel very small. Like, who's that?
Leah
Black calling. Put her on speaker.
Hey, I'm going to call you right back because I'm in the middle of the podcast, but I'll be done like in 30 minutes and I'll call you.
This is, guys,
you in Dallas?
Who thinks that Leah and my mom are not friends, Leah Black and my mom, Leah just called my mom. Okay. That's so funny. Okay. The other thing I just wanted to say is I'm not even going to get into your fucking Instagram post, but Jamie Lee Curtis won an Oscar and it was very exciting. we were going to go to, I was texting Annie. Annie is the daughter of Jamie Lee Curtis. And I was texting her on Sunday because they wanted to see the Oscars together. And I was having I was going through a prolactin oxytocin dip. So I was like, I don't think I can handle being around people right now. But she was like, we are going, she's like, we're going to order food or whatever. She's like, if my mom does win, I do have to go to the Vanity Fair party. I was like, okay, casually just going to drop everything and go to the Vanity Fair party, but cool.
But she went somewhere, right? Because I saw a picture of her and Ruby. Annie looked so beautiful and Annie
also has been killing it. Like for the premiere of, I think it was Everywhere All at Once premiere. I'm gonna pull up a photo of Annie.
Well,
I don't think anyone has seen
I don't know.
This.
I just saw. Was it the picture where she's wearing silver and black?
Yeah, with the gloves.
Oh my God.
No. It was I was like, Annie, I would truly have sex with you.
I mean, let me tell you, Jason Wolf, I love you. I love you so much. Honestly, you are.
Oh no, he's so lucky.
The funniest man in the world, but you so married up. It's not that you're married up because she's the daughter of Jamie Lee Curtis, because that's, bonus. But wow, she's so stunning. She's so stunning. We need to look. I know I've told you before. I don't know why you're embarrassed to ask. Jamie Lee loves you. Annie's like one of your best friends. Let's get them on the podcast, even if it's for 15 minutes.
We'll see. Hold on.
Jason, make it happen.
He does not listen to this podcast. You're crazy if you think he does.
He listens to the podcast. He knows we talk about him a lot.
Okay. Anyways, I texted after, if you saw the Oscars and you saw Jamie's speech, it was so sweet. She was like, Mom, Dad, we won an Oscar, blah, blah, blah. We won an Oscar. And I texted Annie. I was like, we won an Oscar.
We all won an Oscar. There's 100 people up here. And one of them was me. I also loved that. I didn't know that she had another daughter. I didn't know about Ruby. I didn't know that Ruby was transgender, right? And then I loved that she said that if in honor of Ruby, she was giving Oscar the pronouns them,
they, them.
I thought that
them,
was
them.
Whatever. I'm bad with that.
The last celeb news I want to talk about is Gwyneth Paltrow was recently on a podcast. Did you hear about this? This is fucked. Gwyneth Paltrow was recently on a podcast and the guy was asking her, like, what is your eat in a day? Like, what do you eat? Whatever. And she was totally blasted for like her quote unquote wellness routine, because she says that her diet and her routine consists of intermittent fasting, which mine, bone broth for lunch, a 1 hour workout, a 30-minute sauna, and then she sticks to paleo dinner, which is mostly veggies. And people were like, so you're starving
paleo is not mostly veggies, but by the way, I'm getting an infrared sauna and I'm putting it in your guys' little, in your spare whatever to the right of that armoire. It's small. I'm putting it in there because that's so good for you.
No, it's amazing for you.
Yeah. So I'm doing that. Because I want to do, I know this is separate, but I want to do a little bit of an expansion to my room. And I want to get in there, like, I want to get a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. I really, and then the infrared sauna and a Peloton. So not that
can we get back to Gwyneth?
No, enough about Gwyneth. Okay, fine. She starves herself. We know that. That's a terrible example for young girls and for people. And no.
I do think, I mean, just to give her a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, I think that this was taken out of context. Like, I don't think she does this every day. She was asked about her wellness routine, and I follow Gwyneth Paltrow on Instagram. It's actually a hilarious follow because sometimes she'll do questions like ask me anything, and she will always pick a Spanish question in the middle just so she can talk in Spanish. And she studied Spanish and
I know. So she did a show with Jose Andres.
So she'll be like, pero yo no sé porque yo creo que nosotros tenemos muchos que aprender. Hostia. It's so funny. I always send it to Jackie.
Qué estúpida.
It's so dumb. Okay, whatever. Can I finish? You are cutting me off every 5 seconds.
Well, because you want the podcast to be a certain length.
I know,
and we have to talk about Sandoval.
Totally. But every time I bring up something, you're like, well, let me just bring this back to me 1 second. I want an infrared sauna. I want to expand my house.
Because I almost died.
I know. But let me just defend Gwyneth, okay? Because I don't want to blast her here. I think she needs to be defended. She was asked about her wellness routine, and she does a thing called Wellness Wednesdays, where she does a full, like, probably what this is, intermittent fasting, like a full cleanse, body scrub, sauna, whatever. And I think that that's what this was in reference to. I don't think every day she's having.
Oh, okay. So it's like a day where she kind of almost fasts.
A reset.
Which, by the way, everything, like, ever since I almost died, I'm listening to a lot of podcasts about health and people that are not just quacks, right? And honestly, eating very low calorie is great for you. Intermittent fasting is great for you because you give your digestive system a break.
Totally. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think this is like, she also has
every day
a boyfriend breakfast on Saturdays where she'll make like a crazy breakfast for her husband.
Like my debauchery.
Exactly. And it's like a really intense meal, whatever. So let's cut.
Sometimes I have a black and white cookie for breakfast, but this was before.
Nice.
And only on a Friday.
Okay. Let's do Bravo bullshit.
Okay. I did not watch.
It is such a good Vanderpump episode.
I know, but I did listen to a podcast about it, and I thought that it was. I heard that it's really shocking to see, like, when you know what happened 2 months later, and that there's even times where you're like Team Rachel for like a hot second, and. I don't know much about it, so I can't comment, but I will say that what I've seen on Instagram is I think Ariana needs to relax. She's being super thirsty for attention. I think a lot of it is being hypocritical. There's a post of her and one of them with the dark hair, saying, "This is in real time. I love you," and they kiss on the lips and whatever. And didn't they all cheat on each other's whatever? This whole thing is a big hypocrisy, and
that is how I'm starting to feel as well.
Yeah,
that is truly okay. So this week's episode, I cannot wait till you watch it. It's so good because it's exactly what you're saying. It's cool to see, knowing everything. Like, this is kind of the beginning of apparently Raquel crashes like a boys' night at the end of the episode, and apparently that night is when everything started. So that in itself is crazy. I will say I do have a hot take on this whole thing. Raquel was treated so poorly by Lala, Kristen, and Katie on this like girls trip from last episode. I was like, this is mean. And like this whole thing of like Raquel is such a bitch. They treated her so horribly, like true mean girls.
Yeah.
And I wasn't cool with that. And I actually felt bad for Raquel, and I still do. Because I also think like Raquel was
I don't feel
emotionally, mentally
also
abusive relationship for a long time, almost married the guy, and she just got out. She's still really young.
I know,
think
but
she's
that doesn't
just
give her the right.
mess. No, and I'm not making excuses for her. All I'm saying is that there is context behind people's behaviors. I don't think that she's absolutely unhinged. She's dumb. She's a dumb person. She is. And like, I think we have to like, I don't know,
I hate giving people passes for being dumb.
I'm not giving her a pass. I'm saying let's have some grace. Okay. I say that as
I also saw a video of them at one of Sandoval's concerts, and she's next to Ariana, and she's dancing, she's being like all flirty and shit, and I just hate that. You know what I mean? I don't consider myself a flirty person. I feel stupid flirting. I wish I could learn.
Oh my God, I literally don't know how else to speak to people other than to flirt.
Really? I don't know. I want to learn how to flirt just for like Ken's benefit so I can flirt with him. I mean, I'm just very like,
you're very matter of fact
about everything. Yeah, because I feel like I'm running out of time in life.
Very lawyer of you.
Yeah, I need to lose that. Those are the things that I get. Like, it's funny because I'm a hybrid of Katy and Beba. You know what I mean? There's a part of me that's still so much Katy. And then a part of me that's so much you. And I think I'm leaning more towards Katy lately, because I feel like I have so much going on. I laugh when people talk about like lately, like on Twitter and stuff, like they'll be like, oh, she's dying to get back on the show. It's like, with what time? I could never like do that show. You know what I'm saying? Never mind. I don't have the stomach for it, the heart for it, anything for it. And I would never, but I couldn't and I can't talk about everything that I'm doing, but I'm doing a lot of stuff. And maybe it might not be a lot of stuff for a more super woman, but for me, it's a lot. I no puedo más. So
let me just explain something to you. We were talking about Vanderpump, and somehow you ended up talking about yourself again.
Because I almost died. I'm a narcissist.
You're not a narcissist. You just love talking about yourself.
Well, I almost died.
Okay. This episode is going to be called I Almost Died.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Oh, by the way, my mother doesn't know that I almost died.
Well, she might know now.
No, she's going to know now. And I'm going to have Katy, my correspondent, tell her what happened now, because I haven't talked to her recently. And, my blood sugar issues come from her, and now she's going to be like, so you have to blame her whatever. And then now I'm checking my blood sugar 4 times a day and all that stuff, which is all again,
we didn't ask. Okay. All right. Listen, we got to wrap up. So why don't we do
there you go.
Okay. I'm just gonna let you talk. You've talked about yourself 100 times. It's an episode. We have to wrap up.
And how often do you do that?
Not as much as you've done it this episode.
Okay. We'll take a poll.
It's because you're so jealous of my ring light that you're like,
I'm
have
jealous.
To get the attention
and
back.
Today's your day.
I mean, it's like, guys, we're recording on St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day. And
wait until you see the amount of outfit changes Lola's going to have today. She has a million St. Patty's Day outfits. It's crazy.
But who gave her the first one?
You did. And you're going to die when you see the next one. Okay.
Why? Who gave it to her? Is it better than mine?
Jack Stapleton.
Oh, I love Jack.
You're going to love it.
Well, anyway, so yes, Beba's family is Irish. And so Lola's
like
half
Christmas
Irish
today.
It's and Lola's so it's fun. You're doing soda bread, you're doing Irish stew, you're doing the whole thing.
Yeah, all of it.
Awesome.
Okay, quickly, let's do Miami Part 2 reunion recap. Okay. If you saw, you know that my mom was mentioned on this episode of like.
And randomly, I don't understand it. It seemed kind of.
Also,
doesn't make sense.
Well, this is what I was telling you the other day. Like Andy just randomly asking, does anybody talk to Anna? Which is hilarious if people call you Anna.
Well, because it makes sense. If you only have one N, it is Anna, but in Spanish it's Ana. So I prefer Anna, like if it had 2 N's, but yeah.
anyways, he just asked, like, has anybody talked to her? And Nicole, we'll give you some. Are you gonna give the tea here? So Nicole responds saying, Anna reached out to me last week, and so did Leah.
Right.
And then Alexia also said, I'm not scared, which
first of all, just because somebody reaches out to you doesn't mean that it was about you.
Right.
And look, here's the thing. I just don't even want to throw Nicole into. I love Nicole. Like, so here's the situation. I am friends with Anthony, Nicole's husband, fiance, whatever. Anthony's a lawyer in Miami. We've talked about him before. Love him. Have all the respect in the world for him. When Nicole went to the first reunion, and I remember talking to Ann, and at some point, so I don't know, how it could be, but last week she actually reached out to me, or whatever. But the point is that Anthony reached out to me first a long time ago when she was headed to the first reunion.
Right.
And he was worried about her, but not worried about her because he's like, she's so smart. She can hold her own. I'm like, she has nothing to worry about. If she wants to talk to me, give her my number. She can call me, blah, blah, blah. We talked for a long time. He goes, I just don't understand why those women want to attack her. Nicole is really a sweet person. That's it. And then after that, I think she reached out to me and we agreed to whatever. We still haven't gotten together, and there hasn't been an agenda as to what we're going to talk about, but I'm happy to give her any guidance, insight. I love Nicole. I think Nicole is a mini me. You know what I'm saying? In many ways. She's smart. She's quick on her feet. And I like her. So I don't care. Like that whole thing about she reached out to me. It doesn't matter who reached out. We communicated.
Right.
We have communicated, and she has communicated with Leah. I do believe that she was the one that called Leah before she ever agreed to do the show to get some insight. Right. And then I know she also reached out to Leah in January. It's smart. And she probably thinks, like, who do I ask about this? The people that were on the show with the most gravitas, right?
Right.
Who are you going to ask? Like, so it makes a sense. And then I know that in January at some point she wrote to Leah giving her a compliment on her appearance on the show, how she did great, how she looked great, how she whatever. And
gardeners are here, by the way. Do you hear how loud it is?
I don't hear it all.
Okay, good.
So I don't care who called who or who, whatever. It doesn't matter. I love Nicole. Nothing's going to change that. I would give advice to Nicole, help Nicole. Just that's how I feel about Nicole. Adriana, same thing. Adriana and I never had a problem. Adriana and I have spoken recently, and have always kind of every once in a while connected. And so, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't really care about it.
I will say this. I mean, I told you after Andy asked, I'm like, it's weird that he just asked. Like, I do feel like you might be getting called about something soon. I don't know why. I just feel like that's such a random person. Like, why not ask about Karen? Why not ask about, I don't know, Christy Rice? Like,
well, because people who first of all, I had more of a, like with Alexia and Marisol, like for Alexia to say she doesn't know me, that to me is shocking. I was the first person at the hospital outside of Herman and Carrie, her sister's husband, because I don't think Carrie was there because she was home with the kids who were little, and her husband is a doctor. And he told me, I remember him telling me, it looks really bad. I don't think he's going to make it. And it was late at night. It was after Sylvia's 50th birthday party. I'll never forget. And I asked Mark to drop me off at the hospital, and I stayed there overnight with her. And I have never seen, somebody in such agony.
Of course.
Because what happened to her is awful, and I'm not going to cry again. She's a mom and whatever, but I was there, and I was there a lot. And Marisol wasn't there, and in fact, the whole Rodolfo scandal came from the fact that he started visiting and I was always there. But I was the first, so I don't know you. I know you.
Yeah.
I know you too well, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you're a good mom. I think you did right by your son. I think you were a little too forgiving with Peter. And I think that you've become a monster on this show.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
It's really upsetting too.
But she doesn't know me. Come on, lady.
Yeah.
Let's be real. And again, I do have a lot of tea about Alexia. And if I ever need to spill it, I will. Period.
Oh, period.
Period.
Dot. Yeah. Well, listen, I don't think you have to do any of that because she's really good at just
digging her own grave. Like I think, last week you mentioned her, she has a big shovel.
Yeah.
Her shovel's getting bigger every week.
Oh my God, it's so loud. We have to finish this.
She needs to humble herself. That's all.
She really does.
People are really hating her. People
It's
are
really,
hating her.
really bad. Like I didn't realize until I saw people on Twitter because
Twitter's out of control.
That Twitter was saying like, yes, bring Anna back, whatever. So I started looking at the Real Housewives of Miami hashtag, and I was like, oh wow, like people do not fuck with Alexia and Marisol, which I figured, but it was just interesting to actually like see it for real.
At the beginning, Alexia had
shaking in their boots.
Yeah. Alexia had a lot of media training at the beginning, and she came in very humble. And she also came in season 1 where the storyline was all about her. So she felt confident. I do think that Tony Marinara had a very positive effect on her and helped her a lot with staying humble. And I think that now she's like, get out of my way. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if he chose not to film with her that much. I think we're going to see a lot less of him.
Wow.
Yeah, that's another Anna prediction.
I don't really fuck with him, so.
I mean, he's fine. He's fine. He's like whatever. He has 2 girls that are nice and whatever. I think he got into like a bad situation, whatever. I feel bad. I feel the worst for Frankie, and this is just an aside. I follow this Instagram because one time it came up because it had millions of views, and it was a couple with a little girl, and the little girl was the funniest thing because she never learned how to crawl. She was just scoot on her butt, but the scooting on her butt was so fast that it was almost an Olympic event. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen, and I loved them as a couple and whatever. And then soon after, they announced that they were pregnant again, and 18 weeks into the pregnancy, they discovered that the baby had Down syndrome, and they decided to have the baby anyway. And it is the most inspirational account, aspirational, inspirational. She is so positive. They're such a beautiful family. It just warms my heart every time. And I've noticed that every time I look at one of their posts, Frankie has liked it. Aww. And that tells you what kind of heart he has.
Oh, that's and so me
yeah, I know it does too. So that's what I'm telling you. It's not all bad, he and so whatever. I don't know what to say about it, but yeah.
I'm excited for the part 3, and I'm also excited for this to be over, to be honest. I feel like you might feel the same way.
Yeah, and I'm excited
about a long season.
OC, we never talk about, we'll get more into New Jersey.
Yeah, listen, I think like when Miami is on, it's really hard to not focus fully on Miami because you were on the show. So when it ends, we will like kind of get back into. I need you to start watching Vanderpump. Like the season is.
No, I can't. Are you kidding me? I would have never watched Vanderpump, and now I'm going to watch Vanderpump. Yeah. And I'm also going to, I can't wait till Selling Sunset starts, and then OC, and so OC. We will focus on those things, and of course we will forever discuss Hailey and Selena
until the day I die. And I will say I did have a dream about it last night, and I know that I'm broken. I know that, but I'm obsessed with it. I can't.
You're broken.
I can't help it.
Okay, so do we have a quiz? Because our follower, our listener, Mari Ibarra, who is loyal and wonderful, and we love her. She likes the quizzes, and I think we should have one.
Well, I didn't.
You don't have one.
Do you have one for me?
I have.
I'll answer one.
But
is it gonna
make you look dumb?
Day? Yeah.
No, it's easy. What is milquetoast? When you say somebody's milquetoast,
they're dull.
Thank you. I wanted you to feel good about yourself. I wanted to give you your self-esteem back now that you have less oxytocin
and prolactin.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay, guys.
So that's a wrap. I can't wait till next week, which we'll see the last episode of Miami. And
also, people are wanting, what are we reading, watching, and eating again? So we'll do that next week.
Okay.
And yeah, guys, follow us on Instagram at Mommy Issues the Pod. Follow me at Beba_Rod. Follow my mom at Anna Cooks QOOKS. Follow me on TikTok. I haven't posted in a while. I might do some today because it's a holiday. Okay, that's it.
All right, bye. I love you. Happy St. Patty's Day to you and the entire Staples family. And please send me pictures of Lola and all her outfit changes.
I most certainly will, and you'll see them all on the gram, guys. Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.